and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and if you haven't seen my last whip and chat on my Diamond Art Club painting, so last Sunday's whip and chat, you may not know that I have finished the Diamond Art Club painting of Mother Earth. So this is by Hannah Lynn. So just to show you the painting first off, I did show it at the end of the whip and chat, but this is the finished painting. Somebody did mention that they thought I'd missed a symbol around here when I was doing the last one. They saw a symbol D, but I'm not seeing it. They said it was near my left hand, so I'm trying to think when I was doing up here, is there anything else? I'm not seeing anything. It may well have been an AB shining a bit different, but I thought I'd better check that out before it does go away for a while. So that is the top part of the painting, and then as it goes down, you have her gorgeous dress that is just like a waterfall. To show it all in shots, you'll have to turn your heads with me, but that is the Diamond Art Club Mother Earth. It was an absolute pleasure to work on this one. It was such nice quality, and the vibrant colours in this did make it so much fun to do. I really enjoyed it. It doesn't have a home at the moment, so for now it is going to get rolled up. I have got a piece of pipe lagging in there, so a bit like the foam that you get in some paintings when they arrive. It's a little bit bigger than that, but that will stop it from squashing down on itself with the weight of the diamonds, and that can go in its box in my craft room. But what I do need to do is de-kit the painting. I also need to tidy up my case. So I've obviously, as I finished the last sections, I've just bobbed all my cover paper in the top. Normally on a large painting I move the cover paper up. Of course, when you get to the top there's nowhere for it to go. So let's pop that back in my holder so that they're safe and lint free. I do also have a pot here that I collected either bits of rubbish, drills that weren't quite right, or I collected ones that, for example, like that one did, got, you know, stuck when I was popping diamonds away and I've not noticed. Ones that I found on my travels, I put them in there, and then if for any reason I didn't have any, or I ran out of one at the end, I could always check in here to see if I had another one, but I don't need them anymore, so they can go, and then I can put the top back on that one. But I do need to de-kit these. I also have my bag of extras. Some of these have already been put into the diamonds, some haven't. So the ones that are already empty, I'm just going to take my labels off. So we've got some 310. There's quite a bit of extra 310. I've already taken the label off that one. I think it was just the last few that I refilled. I didn't necessarily take the label off them all. Maybe got a little bit lazy. We've got an AB there, and then 996, get the label off that one, and then I still have 3 with some diamonds in. I never needed to fill those up, so let's get rid of those labels. We'll put these bags back on this ring and they'll go with all my others, and I'll add those into it in a bit. because I was working on a large one, I'm going to keep my funnel about. I did put them into symbol order rather than DMC order. See, look here, 954. There's that many in the bottom of there. So what I might actually do is tip these in now, because they'll be easier to tip into my spare storage out of the pot, and I've got less things to deal with. So let's get those out of this bag and into the pot. Just got a couple that don't want to move. There they go. So we'll get those transferred in. There's plenty of room for them. It's the 310s I don't think there'll be any room for. So that is a 900, 700. So let's pull out some 700s because I actually want 741 as well. There it is. So I was just looking for 700s. While I was looking for 741, I may as well grab any other 700s because they were jumping out at me. Save that little bit of time. And these ones decided to jump everywhere. So that is that bag empty as well. So let's move that, pop them back on the ring. Okay, so that is a 700. Say 310, I probably need to mess with that later. So we've got 200, 900, that's a 3000. I tend to break down the 3000s once I've done all the rest. I find it easier, especially when I'm looking at so many numbers, to just put the 3000s to one side and deal with them afterwards, and then break them down into 3012, for example, or 3300 and something. So that's a 3900, 7, 9. Oh, I didn't have many of those left, did I? And there's no extras. That's a bit shorter than normal. 500, 800s, 8, 5, 3006, 700. That is an AB. So I'll put that to one side. I'll probably do my ABs first. 900, 700, 9, 8, 9, my other AB, 3000s, 600, 700, 700, 300, 6, 3. That's all the 6s, and there's my 310. So all I have left in my case now is my empty bottles. While I'm there, I'm going to lift this up, because this is often the neglected area of your case. And this is where I have lost a few little diamonds underneath. So we'll get rid of those. Well, this is a lot easier to lift out with a lot less bottles. So that's cleaner, because of course this will be going away afterwards. I'll put that to the side to put the bottles in, and let's do the ABs first. So I'm going to grab, they're my squares, it's not the right one. I'm going to grab my round ABs, which I keep in these baggies. And in fact, I'm going to keep them together. So I want a blue, which is Diamond Art Club number of 136, and I actually have both written on here. So this is 137 and this is 138. I actually don't have a bag for 136, so I am going to have to make one, which means I am going to have to find out what the DMC number for that is. And then 141 is classed as 5200. So I'm going to take that one out. And actually, when I look at these, the ones I have from Diamond Art Studio of 5200 are a lot brighter than Diamond Art Club's. diamond art clubs are closer to a 3865. So because I can clearly see the difference between a white and an off-white, I'm going to put these in with this, because to me they match loads more. They match a lot better to that bright white. I'm not sure if the lighting is picking it up, but there's definitely a slight difference. Take off the sticker off the top. See how well these peel. And then pop that one back in my case. So I need to find out what number 136 is in a blue. Now, because I don't have my phone in here with me with the image, I'm going to have a look at my squares first and see if I have. See, look, I have 136 there. So that already tells me the numbers that I need. So it's a little cheats way of doing it. So let's grab one of these bags that I've just emptied, and I need my DMC codes. So my blue, I don't need my square, I need my round. So in with my round pack, I also have my Diamond Art Club AB numbers. So I can do both at the same time. So I want 796. Why can I not count? Oh, that's why it's under my thumb. So 796 in round equals the AB 136 in Diamond Art Club's numbers. So that's labelled up with both. And there's only 2 ABs in this one, so that can go back. If I pop it back out the way, I won't end up with too much stuff about. It can sometimes get a little bit chaotic when dekitting if I don't tidy as I go as much as possible. Plus I feel like I'm progressing more if I tidy as I go. Okay, let's not have labels that start ripping all the time, because this is going to get boring if it does. Okay, so my squares can go back. They will eventually be going on the desk in front of me. I just need to get more hooks. And then here are my blues round here. So we've got the AB 137 and AB 138. So let's put 36 before it, and they're all sort of in a rainbow order-ish. And we'll pop the whites probably back to the back and keep the black at the front. So that's the ABs away. 13 minutes in and we've put 2 colours away. Woohoo! Let's get on to the actual diamonds. So these are all rounds, which mean I don't need to check if I need them for any of my Heaven and Earth design project, because that uses squares. So I'm going to get my first box of rounds. I have 2 boxes of rounds. I'm actually going to put the box there, and I'm going to put the case over there a little bit more out of the way. So this has up to 829 in here, but we want to start with 150. I have a bag for 150 with space, so let's pop those in. I like to flatten it down as much as I can. These thicker bags are very good at keeping the diamonds flatter if you squeeze the air out of them. And I'm going to peel my labels as I go, because peeling labels is a tedious process. So if I can break it up, I will. Then 208. So we'll pop that in. Squash them down. It just all means that they will take the least amount of space possible. And pop 208 back in. Then I'm on to the 300s. I have a few more 300s. So it's 10, 21, 27, 33, 40. Now 310, my bag is full, which means my extras get given away for 310s in round. So I'm going to put those up there out of the way. I will put them away at the end. 321 is a red, and I have room. I have limited myself to one bag of each for spares, unless I'm doing the likes of my Heaven and Earth design project. Anything after that is going to be passed on to anybody that wants them. Anybody that wants the diamonds can have them. Okay, next number I've come to, 327. I don't have any of these yet. I have a bag, but it's empty. So there's one thing I need to do. Two things. One is to put the diamonds in the bag. But the second is I like to update my spares list in my logbook. So for my diamond painting logbook, which needs an update soon and potentially splitting into two, I'm not sure. I definitely need to put some labels on them. But I have my spares in square and round, and I have little tick marks and check marks. Let me get this to go round. There we go. Tick marks for if I have them in my spares, and the H means I'm using them in my Heaven and Earth designs, but they're not in this box. So I now have 327 in rounds, which I didn't have before, and I've picked up a blue pen, not a black one, which is a completely different colour to what I have in my logbook. So there we go. I've now gone over it with a black pen. Some of them seem thicker than others, but at least they're all black. So I've updated my logbook, and then I can pop them away. So I know I have 327. Then we have 333. I already have some of those, so my logbook will already reflect that. So I only update it if I go to a bag and it's empty. Then I know that I want to update it. It's getting in the little routines and the little things that trigger you to realise you need to do something else. Actually filling in my logbook, I tend to do in bulk now. I'm not precious about an exact day of a month that I finished a painting. I don't track them by time. So I found for me, because there's nothing that I've found yet that triggers me to update my logbook when I start a painting, when I finish a painting. I know I do have kitting up and dekittings, but there's always so much other stuff going through my mind. I forget about things like updating my logbook because it's not my usual pattern. I've only just really started keeping a logbook. I find that a monthly update of my logbook, where I enter in any new paintings, put in details of any finished paintings, get the relevant pictures to go with them, all that stuff is better to do as one for me. I get out my little mini printer, I get everything prepared, I turn on the camera and I update it. Also gives you guys an opportunity to know what paintings are going into my stash from maybe multiple unboxings. You get to see which ones are getting added into the mix, and I find that a better way. However, with the spares, I'm very happy to pull my logbook out and update it when I have an empty bag, because otherwise it's a lot longer process to go through every single bag again. Do I need to update it? It takes all that away. Okay, 602 is definitely the first one. So let's go for that one. I don't have many, and there's not many more to add. just a few bright pink. 602. Okay, let's go for those next, the 6/4s. So 645. Got a few different shades of it in there. I don't mind having different shades of DMC in there, because if I need these, it's because a painting's short. So I will just tip a load into my tray and pick the closest shade. I find I did used to use different bags. For actually each time I dekitted, I used to put the diamonds in separate bags and then put them in my spare storage, which meant that each manufacturer was kept different. Basically the spares from each and every painting were kept different. But the amount of bags I ended up with, especially in some of the popular numbers, it got ridiculous and it took too much space. So I've started combining, because if I need to use them, I can always fish out the best match that I need. And I take up less space doing it that way. Even though my boxes have expanded, it's been due to the quantity of diamonds, not the amount of bags. Okay, so now I need the 666 of the red, of which it's very nearly full. It's getting there. It's not quite there, but it's definitely getting fuller. Just make sure the diamonds aren't sticking under that seal. Get out. There we go. It's a mixture of trying to squeeze the air out but not trap any diamonds. So that's done. And then 699 in rounds. Rounds are so much easier now. I do only have 2 boxes for them. My squares still are spread into 3, but my rounds are only in 2. Because there was definitely a period where I was doing a lot more square paintings, and a lot of my big paintings are squares. It's my smaller paintings that are in rounds. And I've gone and stuck this to my desk. These are sticky stickers. Okay, well, my desk is due a wipe down anyway. Okay, 700s I have a lot. So we've got 701 will definitely be first. That's 740s, 750, 780s, and actually 701 wasn't first. 700 was first. That little sneaky one got in there, didn't it? Sneak in a top of, well, not top of the shop. Top of the shop would be 799, wouldn't it? Sneak in a little 700 there, just to throw a spanner. 701. I do have, if you're new to my channel or my dekittings or anything like that in relation to the process, a few of the questions that usually get asked: why do you keep your spare diamonds? I keep my spare diamonds primarily in case I have a diamond painting that is short. So for example, this 957, I only have a few in here. It could be that when they weighed it, they actually maybe sent me a few less than that. Maybe I didn't have enough to finish the section I needed to. It could be that maybe I'd dropped a few and ended up being short at the end of my painting, or very much near the end of my painting. It may be that I wasn't able to finish a painting due to it being short of diamonds. Now, many companies, and most companies, Diamond Art Club definitely included, it's not against them in any way, many companies will send you diamonds if for any reason you are short. they will put it right. Some companies may have gone out of business. Some companies may say they're sending you diamonds but not send you the diamonds. And that age old, even if the company does say they'll send you out the diamonds and does post them, you still have to wait. You still have to wait for those diamonds. And if it was a matter that I was only short 5 or 10 diamonds for a painting, then if I've got them in my spares, why not just use them and not have to mess about? There's no messing about then. There's no faffing, because you've got the diamonds, you've got them in your spares, you grab a couple, you finish your painting, job's a good one. And that's all done. And it means sometimes that there's some companies, if you've ordered, for example, from AliExpress, some companies on AliExpress, not all, but some, there can be a bit of a language barrier in relation to them understanding that you're actually short of diamonds. Or, as I said before, the company may have gone out of business. Well, what are you going to do then? There are Facebook groups about where you can ask people in your country. There's often a Got Diamonds group for most countries, or many countries in the world, where you can go on and say, has anybody got this colour diamond? And people post them to other people. And that's great, but again, you've got to find somebody that's got them, and you've still got to wait. Whereas if you have your own, you can finish your painting without any real break in your productivity or your enjoyment of the painting as well. Because it can be a little bit down if you don't have enough. I have had a couple of paintings, 2 or 3 paintings, where I have been a few diamonds short. Normally a lot less than 20, but even one missing diamond can, especially if it's in the wrong place, can stand out a lot. And it can just be disappointing to not be able to finish your painting. So that's the main reason that I keep my diamonds. I do have some uses for my spare diamonds, not as much my round, but I definitely do with my squares. I am currently doing a Heaven and Earth design cross stitch pattern. So I purchased the cross stitch pattern from Heaven and Earth Designs, and I am doing it on a blank canvas. And I'm using spare diamonds to do it. So I don't have to buy any diamonds for that project. I'm using the ones out of my spares, which is why when I de-kit a diamond painting that uses squares, I have a bit more of a process, because I pull out the ones I need for my Heaven and Earth designs first. Okay, I have another colour that I class as full. That is a full bag. So I'm going to put that up with the 310s, and we'll deal with that after. And that is the end of my first box of rounds. So let's grab box number 2 for the rest of these diamonds. And this one starts at 830 and moves up. So I need 844. So that is why I tend to keep my diamonds, those couple of reasons. You can also use them for projects off the canvas type projects. So for example, this storage bin, this came as a kit, but you could decorate something else in the same sort of way. Some wood items are really good to decorate. The likes of the Works in the UK have loads of wood items. But think, instead of painting it, or as well as painting it, you could put diamonds on it to make a pretty pattern, something nice. Just an extra way of using up the diamonds that you've paid for and aren't needed for your painting. One of the other questions is normally in relation to the storage that I use. So I came up with this storage system 3+ years ago, maybe nearer 4, when I tried a few storage systems for spare diamonds that were about at the time, mainly like the baseball card sleeves, and they were okay, but it didn't work for me. I didn't like the way they sat. I didn't like the way that some diamonds, so for example 310, I've got another one that the bag is pretty full, so I'm going to put that in with my extras. Yeah, the bag were the pockets for the likes of 310 and things like that, they just ended up being too small for it. They couldn't cope with diamonds that you might have a big number of. They just couldn't cope with it. The sleeves didn't work properly with that, so I just didn't get on with it. So I came up with this storage system. I do have videos. If you go to addmorezest.com, under videos you can see spare storage. I have got some from right at the beginning, and while I did still have these cardboard pieces, I didn't have these pretty stickers on there. So my gorgeous little stickers, I didn't have those on there. I didn't have stickers on my bags. I just had basic white stickers that I wrote the details on. There weren't different shapes, so it wasn't round for round and square for square. None of that happened at the beginning, but I've since had a few little revamps. So I do have videos on my spare storage that you can check out if you want to make one yourself. You don't have to use foam board in the middle. I originally started with some cardboard from an Amazon box. You can use shoe boxes instead of photo boxes. So it's very budget friendly depending on what your budget is. And you may not have the budget for the pretty labels or for anything else. You could even, people sometimes make these dividers from index cards, or you could just use cereal boxes. There are many different options if you are on a budget for making the cards and spare storage, and you can build your system up. I do have tabs and bags for every colour diamond, but you could start by just doing it for the diamonds that you have rather than ones you've not yet got. I did it because the likes of when I've just put 906 in a bag, I would have had to go find a bag, find the label and make up the bag before I could tip the diamonds in. So on one of my last revamps where I made my storage a little bit more pretty, I decided to make a bag for every diamond colour / number so that they would all have a place to go when it came to dekitting a kit, because it can take a while to dekit a kit, especially the likes of this one that has over 50 colours, and it saved me from adding on to that process. I also used to have my boxes where square and round were together. So there was 2 different bags, one for square, one for round, but they were stored in the same box. It's only very recently that I have decided to split them into squares and rounds. And you can find all the videos that I've done on my YouTube channel, but I've tried to highlight the ones where I created the boxes way back when on my website if you want the key ones. In relation to the labels and the pretty labels, they are available in our shop, which again is on the website. Right, 948. I now have that in rounds. I'm building up my spares. If you can see, there is quite a lot that I do have of spares, which is why now even having the empty bag is not a huge big deal for me, because most of them have diamonds in them because I have that many. I've been diamond painting for that long. I've built quite a collection, but I'm still finding colours. This is what, the fourth one for this painting that I've just put into an empty bag, albeit only in the rounds. So far I've had them all in the squares version, but I'm still building them up. 754. I have that one already in squares. There's not many that I have in rounds and don't have in squares, but there are some. So yeah, all the pretty stickers, the round stickers, the stickers, labels, even the cardstock, we do sell in the shop. So if you do want to make it pretty, / don't want to cut cardstock and stuff yourself, do check that out. But it's not a have to. It really depends on your budget and what you want, how you want to do it. But if you do want to keep your spares, I do recommend setting up a good system as early as you can, and stick with it. This system has grown with me. Yes, it has spread into other boxes, but it's grown when it needs to, and I shuffle things along. And it's the least space-taking way of keeping them organised that I've found, which is why I came up with it. And it's so much nicer to de-kit when they're pretty, to be fair. It's always nicer to look at the pretty diamonds. The pretty sections. Okay, how far am I going to get before my battery completely says? Every time I ask the question about my battery, it goes off. Maybe I should stop talking about it. Other thing I do get asked a lot about this storage system is, where do I get these thicker baggies from? These thicker baggies were very, very kindly sent to me by Diana. She actually got them from Amazon.com. They do ship to the UK, but they are from Amazon.com. They are linked, again, they're linked on my website. So if you go to addmorezest.com, there is a link for favourites. So addmorezest.com /favourites, spelt the English way. But you can go to the website and just click on the favourites section. In there I have a section for spare storage. I also have a section for tools and all sorts of other stuff if you want to nosy while you're there. But there is a section for spare storage, and in there I have links to the different products. Some of them link to my shop, for example the stickers, because they are exclusively designed by us, whereas some things link to an external website. So there is a section for the thicker baggies, and that will link you to Amazon.com for the bags that Diana kindly sent to me, if you do want to use those ones that stand to attention a little bit better. There is also a link to an eBay seller in the UK for the baggies that I used to use, the thinner ones, which you could very easily use as well or instead of, and they're definitely cheaper to use. Just bear in mind, if you are abroad, I don't think they will ship somewhere else, but hopefully the link should still open up for you so you know what to search in your own country. But yeah, there are multiple links. There's also links to the photo boxes, which are from Hobbycraft in the UK, and they do ship to different places in the world. So that is potentially an option for you. If you can't find the photo boxes locally. But I think the likes of Staples and stuff in other countries do them. So you'll have some options. Oh, there's only a few of them. I nearly put those to go in my extras, but there's only a couple in there. I can often squeeze just a few more in the bag if there's only a few in the pot. I'm so glad I'm peeling these labels as we go. Can you imagine the amount of time I would stand here peeling labels if I left them all till the end? But I've had you guys to keep me company, so it's nowhere near as bad. And I very nearly missed the bag then. That would have been entertaining for you guys. But I already had enough drama when I kitted up a painting at the beginning of this week. I don't need it when de-kitting. I've only got a few of this one. At least I'll be able to top up with a few more. So I'm now on the 3000s. I just grouped them into the first two. So these are the 3700s. These are all the 3800s, but now I can put these in the right order. Makes it a little bit easier. Saves me going back and forth in my storage to find the right one, which is often helpful. So, very nearly there. It feels so good to get a painting done and put away completely. You know, completely de-kitted, diamonds are away, storage case is all done. Because this has been floating around my craft room for a few days. In fact, I've still got a couple of others that need de-kitting as well that are floating around my craft room. But this was the biggest storage floating, which is why I've started with it. Because it was the big one. I have 2 sets of square mini paintings to de-kit. So they will involve me checking my Heaven and Earth design storage. So there's plenty of past videos that I also do that. And then there are plenty, that's too full. Then there are plenty coming up as well, because I have 2 more coming up. Okay, so that is all my rounds in their boxes. What I have now is 5 different colours that I already have more than enough in my spares. My bag is full. At the moment, my very elegant, let me just shift what's on top of it. My very elegant extra storage is this. Nowhere near as pretty, but can give you an example of something you could do if you just started diamond painting, to maybe just start keeping your diamonds in some sort of order, your spares. And then if you do decide to go to a bigger system, or, you know, take the time to pretty up a full system, it won't be as big a job. So 310s, I have absolutely loads. I have a load here as well. They're all 310s. This is getting a mini revamp. Because my rounds only use 2 photo boxes, I actually have a spare photo box that I picked up so that I can have the same design. And this is in case my rounds need to go into 3. Because they don't need to go into 3 at the moment, I may as well store these in here. And if I need it for the rounds, then that forces me to give all these diamonds away and get rid. So I want to tidy up this and tidy them up in here. Not to the full extent of my others, but definitely to a more easy to grab, post and give away type level. So my plan is to try and do that in the upcoming weeks. So this should hopefully look a lot better soon, but for the moment it looks an absolute state. It's got rounds and squares as well, and they're mixed in together. I might try and split them. I'm not sure, but for the moment I need to get these in. So for 310, I'm definitely going to need another bag. I've got far too many to not. And you know, because I am going to be sorting out this storage rather soon, and I am going to be rebagging some of these into a more manageable size. If somebody needs 20 black diamonds, that is a bit too much. I want to put them still into bags and labelled, but I want to put them in bags with a lot less in, so they're easy to post as well. That's one of the things I want to do. So I'm going to put the 310s in there. They've got a label. They can go down the side of there, and that can get dealt with as part of my revamp, because there's no point in relabeling it now and then relabeling it in the next week or two, which is when I hope to get it done. Part of me is like, just do it sooner rather than later, but at the moment the foam board, I only have these foam sections in the middle. I only have black, and I'm like, well, what does that matter? I've got black in, just do it. And the other part of me is, it's prettier with white. So why don't you pick up some white? Maybe it's just an excuse to go to the range, to be honest. I do like a good trip to the range. Okay, that is 823 added in a bag. Do I have 898 already? I thought I did. They're not all, they are roughly grouped into the 800s, but no, I don't. Okay, so I need one for that, so I'll do that in a minute. 939, I have a bag, and they are rounds. That's one thing I didn't check when I threw those others in. Were they round diamonds? I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I should have done. It was rounds that I put them in, so that's okay. 3846, they're rounds as well. So let's throw those in. 3846. Trying to put them roughly back in an order where they go. So all I need now is a bag for these 898s, which the bag has obviously just gone a bit too full. So where are my thinner, cheaper bags? No, that's a thick one. I've not yet decided if I'm going to bag these up in the thinner ones or in the thick ones. I've not yet decided on that matter. I also need a sticker. So let me just grab, oh, and here we go, I've got a pen here. In fact, let's stick that on the bag first, because this pen might smudge. So 898 on a sticker. This will do for now. And at least they're in one place until I can sort this out fully. But yeah, I'm undecided whether to use the thicker or the thinner bags in my diamonds to give away, or whether to use the thicker bags to store them. But then I might have thinner bags stuck in the side, so that when I am sending them on to somebody, I can put them into a thinner bag and label them up. Maybe that's what I'll do. Have them all stored in the thick bags so they all stand up nice, even if there's multiples. But then have some of these thinner bags to the side, and I'll just tip in however many they might need. Plus, of course, probably another 200 on top of what somebody needs. But anyway, I'll think through and finalise that process, but for now, they're my giveaway diamonds. Huge amount of 310s in round, but I always seem to be swimming in 310s. So logbook has been updated with any new ones. I will be updating this with the diamond painting being completed, but I will do that as part of my logbook. Supposed to be monthly update. I think it's actually been 2 months, but I will, that is on my list to do. My storage looks pretty clean. I don't think I need Goo Gone a lot. There's a couple here that have got some sticky residue, but it is coming off with my finger. I don't think there's loads of sticky residue that I need Goo Gone. I think it'll do. So that storage box is ready to go away and we're all done. So thank you all so much for joining me while I de-kitted Mother Earth, and I hope you'll join me for the many future de-kittings that I have in my future. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.